Greetings, 'tis I, Andru, the bearded lady from the Hairy Game Lords, and for Zatu Games, I would like to unbox for you, but then also maybe give you a little bit of a rundown review within the unboxing. This bad boy. The box obviously is heavier, I've just pulled out the lid. But yes, here it is. Western Legends by Kolossal Games. So, let's go over to the table and unbox this epic game.
Okay, so let's see what is inside this fantastic box. First of all, the first thing that meets your eye is this brilliant artwork, and also the fact that this box is pretty big. We've got some great artwork around the sides as well, and here we have the 2 to 6 players, and it takes 120 minutes to play, and obviously it's by Kolossal Games. Here he is, little cheeky look. So I don't really want to tip it up, although I just have to show you the back, but we will see what I have just done to the inside by doing that. But anyway, I'll show you the back side later. Let's have a little look. Ah yes, the box fart. Fantastic. So, there is the box. What meets our eyes straight away is a rule book. That's some rules for the expansion, Fistful of Extras. Now this is quite a weighty rule book actually, and there's a lot of text in here, but it's very, very useful. You've got your components, what you'll find in the box. It carries this art theme as well throughout. There is what the game board looks like when it's all laid out. Very helpful setup guide, that is. And then the rule book, yep, is really helpful throughout. It flows through really well. Just very insightful, telling you everything. There's the poker hands from highest to lowest. Very helpful, that. Yeah, so I would say, although quite a long rule book, it's very, very useful and reads extremely well, and makes gameplay very, very easy. So you've got a 2-player variant there as well. It's pretty cool. And then you've got a kind of your first game kind of reference thing on the back there. Excellent. So it recommends that on your first game you put in certain cards and take out some others as well, just to kind of shorten the game, I think. So, right, here is the board. Let's have a look at this. I can't get it open. Yeah, it's the wrong side. Good one. Now, as you can see, I am struggling to open this board because it's massive and upside down. Brilliant. Here is the board. Let me get a wider view on that. There it is. There is the board and the rest of my room. But what a board that is. You can see the different areas where you can go. Each of these kind of like areas, I don't know whether you can see clearly or not, but there we go. The different faint lines are different areas. So when moving your characters around this board, a movement is into one of those areas. You've got a train line along here. You've got these areas here that symbolise where bandits hang out. This is for mining. This up here, can you see it? Let's just have a look. There we go. There is where you take cattle from, and you can either rustle that cattle, or you can I can't think of the appropriate word, but you can take the cattle legally or illegally, basically, earning you different amounts of money and also different amounts on the wanted track or on the martial track. So this is a bit of a kind of a sandbox game. And so there's loads of different things happening, lots of different things that you can do and play. You can go into town, buy different things. You could rob the bank. You could go over to the theatre and have a wild time watching theatre. You could go and play poker, etc., etc. So there's loads to do. And what a great map board that is. What else is in this box? So, ooh, lovely cloth, sac à magique. What's inside this? Excellent. Some legendary tokens. So these are nice kind of punch board tokens, and they have you have a little rummage in there, and you pull out a legendary token. Wow, look at that! 3 legendary points. So obviously the legendary points are the victory points. Here is the kind of man in black, which is the 2-player variant. We've got here very helpful reference cards. As you can see, everything is individually bagged. So, I mean, look at the backs of those cards. They're brilliant. And there are some, yeah, like I say, some... oh, actually, these aren't reference cards. No, what these do are, these are basically little scripts that will take place when you're fighting certain bandits. And so they're the outcomes of different things that will happen randomly when you fight a bandit. Pretty cool. Not a reference card. What else have we got in here? So we have, these are the kind of action cards, and these are really great because, again, they've got this fantastic artwork on it. Let's see. So they've got all these are the kind of different action cards that you can pick up, but as you can also see, they feature the suits and numbers from the pack of cards. So you also can play poker with these cards as well, which is brilliant, and it works so well. All of these different cards you can use, so with a double use on them. It's brilliant stuff. Excellent. You can also use them, in fact I think it's a triple use, because you can use them when you are fighting somebody as well. So obviously the higher the number on the card, the better you are. Or you can also use the action or the bonus. So really good, and a nice thickness to them as well, with a really nice feel. Great stuff. You've also got these brilliant, so this is your currency. I'll just get out this one here. So a whole pack of, this is $10 cards. These feel really plasticky. They're not, I mean, they're just a nice glossy finished card, but they're great, and they are obviously a little bit smaller than the poker cards. So you've got 10 and you've got $20 bills, and good times. Let me just put them back in there. Feels so neat. Right, these little things here. Ah, yes, these are also, if you are attacking somebody, they will take some of these and play them in a defense, but also they've got quite a nasty extra thing that will happen or could happen in the outcome of a battle. Whoa, look at this thing here. So this is the general store, as you can see. And these are some of the different things that you can go and buy. So you could buy a rifle, shotgun, you can buy the Peacekeeper. Now, the great thing about all of these is that you can upgrade them as well. So by paying this price again, you upgrade it, and then not only does it upgrade and give you better abilities, but also it gets itself a name. This is called the Preacher. Wonderful. And so you can buy a horse so you can travel further. As you can see, you can travel 4 locations rather than, I think, 1 or 2. And then you can upgrade him. There he is. He now travels 5 spaces. His name's Traveller. Wonderful. You've got the workhorse, you've got the mule. So there's all kinds of things there. Not everything can be upgraded, so this one can't be upgraded. Basically, if it hasn't got a little cross or a little plus mark under there, it can't be upgraded, but it's still really useful cards to buy. So they fit into this punched out little frame. I would fully recommend, I haven't done this yet, but I would fully recommend when you get this, gluing this together, because if you lift that out wrong, which I have done a few times, the whole thing falls apart and the cards scatter everywhere. Yeah, thanks. Right, what have we got? We've got the characters here. So there's a whole load of different characters that you can choose to be. And each one has a different kind of backstory, which is really cool. Oh, here we are. Good. So on the backs, there is their backstory. Backstory on the back of the card. Good. And this is the location and the starting bonus that each character gets. So each character has a different ability and a different starting bonus. Nice. So the game is really thematic. You've got loads and loads of these cards here. Also to note, these baggies are really nice and thick as well, which is brilliant. And they don't feel cheap at all. So these things go on the board, and when you do certain things, in a 2 to 4 player game, there's 2 people put down a thing on here when you've conquered or done something. And then when it is flipped over, you read this outcome and you gain what the outcome is. So this one here, if in your go you gain 2 or more life points from a single action, you would place your counter on there. And when all the counter spaces are filled, depending on how many people are playing the game, you flip it over, read out what's happened, spawn new bandits, but also get a benefit. And those benefits are very helpful. And again, it just brings in a little bit more of that kind of story theme into the game, and is a lot of fun. What else have we got? So these are just wooden counters. Nice. And here we have some really nice large dice again, and just some, I don't know why I've said again, some really nice dice, very big and engraved. So when you're rolling, when you're mining for gold, basically, you would roll these. You'd get a gold nugget there. You'd get a dollar and a re-roll. You'd get nothing. And here you'd get some dollar instead. So good stuff. You've got those 2 big dice right there. Fantastic. Here you have your golden nuggets. Obviously nice plastic, fit in well. You've got like these kind of, these are for rustling your cattle or wrangling. That's it, rustling or wrangling. Wrangling is doing it above the law, rustling is doing it not above the law. So there's also in there these little wound markers, and actually these in the game can be quite annoying because they sit on your player board. Here is one's player board. It's double-sided because if you want to play around with other things in it, like the legendary tokens. I don't know why you wouldn't play with the legendary tokens, basically. But your wound marker sits on here and is forever getting knocked off. It's really irritating. But there we go. So basically, you're different. So you've got your different area for your items. You've got your weapon cards here, your mount. You can have multiple weapons and multiple mounts, but at the beginning of your go, you have to choose which weapon you're going to go with, which mount you're going to go with. This is your little purse here for your wallet, for your monies. This is where you keep your gold nuggets, and this is where you place your player card. So very good. Not massively thick, but you can hear still thick. It's not like a piece of paper. You've got here we go. This is some little kind of like cheat sheets for everybody, and that's really handy. The poker hands. So everyone has one of those. As you can see, with this massive board, you've got your own player boards, you've got the general store, you've got these. It's actually quite a table killer, this game. What else have we got? Oh, yes. So each character comes with special bonus goals that they can use and get special effects from. And then, obviously, I have held back from getting out these. These are the miniatures, and they are really, really nice miniatures. Let's just see what we can see here. There he is. Excellent. Here he is. Fantastic. Ooh, look at that. The flowing out of the trench coat behind him. Marvellous. So the miniatures are really nice. They would look brilliant painted up. Hint, hint there. Some of the hairy game lords that like to paint miniatures. And then these little bottom tings go on the bottom of your character, so you know who's who, basically, when playing the game. So that pretty much is the unboxing, and I have realised that's like the unboxing and quite a lot of game play stuff in there as well on how to play.
What are my thoughts on this game? Well, played it a few times, obviously with the Hairy Game Lords, and we all love it. The theming is really strong, and the way that the artwork, the miniatures and the cards carry that through is brilliant. The backstories to your character are fantastic, to everyone to get into character and read through. Maybe try your hand at some accents, maybe not. And then for just kind of like, as you're playing the story, there is more kind of story content that's generated and comes out. That list of cards on the back of the rulebook that suggests what you play for the first few games. Those are those little stories that come out throughout the game when players together do different things on their individual goes. And so then there's that element to it there, the story that's generated, and then some extra little goodies that are given to those people that help generate that story. Each go, there's loads and loads of different things to happen, so you're never really going to get bored with this game in terms of the gameplay itself. Now, in terms of player count, I would say the sweet spot for this game is 2 to 6 players. The sweet spot is around 3 or 4 players. We Hairy Game Lords played it I think with 4 players, it was brilliant. We played it with 6 players. It was a long, long game. And actually, the downtime between goes felt like it dragged, especially when you've got players who have got analysis paralysis. And actually, to be fair, there's a heck of a lot to do on each go, or a lot of choices that you can do on each go. And so therefore, you're kind of like weighing up what would be the best thing for me to do. So analysis paralysis can strike often in this game, and even with players that usually are on the ball at planning out their goes. So 6 player count, as cool as that is to play with 6 players, and yes, that kills the table as well, because there's all those extra player boards, those cheat sheets for everybody, and everything that's happening. The game is going to be long, so prepare yourself for a long game if you want to play 6 players. We really enjoyed the game so much that others from the Hairy Game Lords went out and bought this game themselves because they wanted it in their collection. and I'm really excited about Kolossal's expansion, Ante-Up, which I backed on Kickstarter and will also be available from Zatu Games when it comes out for release. So, brilliant game. If you haven't got this in your collection and you like a very strong themed game, so if you like the Western themed game, a lot of people have sci-fi or fantasy, and not many of the Western genre out there, but if you like that, you go get that. Go and get it in your collection. If you like a sandbox feel, so there's lots of different things that you can do, and the scoring as well, so there's in-game scoring and then there's end-game scoring. And it really is it really feels like you don't know who's going to win right until that last end game scoring. If you enjoy anything and all of what I have just said there, you need to get this game in your collection. And of course, Zatu have knocked it out the park with an amazing price. So go check it out on their website today. Do it!